Okay, 10-String Tavern. Can't remember what episode we're up to. Maybe
I know.
26 or 27.
I don't know, but it's a good time.
And so Scott reached out and got someone from up north finally.
Finally, yeah.
Up in the Yukon.
I finally got my first guest for booking. It's all been Jake this whole time. So thanks, Bobby, for reaching back, man.
Glad to have it. I'm glad you guys are having me. This is a really cool setup, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
I think our first bass player too, after all the musicians we had in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, other than,
Yeah, yourself.
but
Oh, you play bass too?
yeah. But Bobby absolutely runs circles around me.
Oh,
Honestly, like I said, I've known Bobby for years from the U.S. Kids days back in the Ohio Valley. So, like I said, I've known Bobby for years, so I was excited when I was able to reach out to him like, oh yeah, I'm all for it, let's go. So weather's not the best, but I mean, we got him down here, and thanks to Google Maps.
Yeah, I got to go past a few ancient sites and look pretty good on it. I saw the bridge you were talking about too. That's why I figured I made the right by the bridge.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So
But very scenic down here.
yeah, let's go.
Especially in the wintertime.
Let's go with that. Let's go scenic.
I told you I brought my wife from Columbus. One of the first things she said to me was, "I've never seen roads with grass in the middle, like with the ground actually coming up from the roads."
Yeah, because broken asphalt. You should really woo her and take her to the parking lot at the Fort Stewart Mall.
Oh, I've seen pictures.
That you'll see grass, and there's probably a pothole or two that might have,
I've heard horror stories coming out of that place.
They're not potholes. They're lakes.
Yeah, it's.
You need to do something with that.
Yeah, I've been deployed to places that had better roads than what's going around the mall.
Yeah, they found one of Jimmy Hoffa's shoes. I can't remember the store. They just made a new store there. It used to be the Dicks.
Oh, Dunham's.
Yes.
Yeah, Dunham's come in there.
Sports.
And then they got that new, it's like an arcade or something that's coming where the Sears building was, and it's, rest of the mall is terrible, but, they're going to have, Texas Roadhouse and someplace to bowl, I guess. So
They are coming out with a new restaurant, but I don't think it's part of the actual mall they're building nearby. Can't remember the name of it. It's a steakhouse.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
By the mall?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was following somebody that used to have a storefront there, and they were saying like every day we would see people's cars get just busted up in the parking lot, or see somebody roll their ankle like outside on like the walkway.
Yeah.
From it being uneven.
But
what kind of bass you got?
Actually, I just picked up I just bought a Music Man. I picked it up. I have a Fender jazz bass. It's fretless, and then I play a Ibanez acoustic. But yeah, that's.
You just grabbed a U bass you were telling me about.
Oh yeah, and I got a little U bass, one of those ukulele basses.
Oh yeah.
Man, they're amazing. Like it's the size of a ukulele, but you plug it in, and if you were on the other side of the wall, you would know that it wasn't a full size.
Wow.
It's perfect for like just plucking around in the living room.
Oh, how's the scale like as the neck? Does it go the full scale, or is it shorter?
It's it's shorter frets, but I mean it's like I said, for just practicing basic stuff right there. It's muscle memory, but it's I love it.
Nice.
It's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
So for the listeners, or my listeners more so that are down south the Riverways, can you give us a little bit about how you got started playing music and your time in U.S. Kids, how you guys formed?
Well, I mean, my whole entire family, my father and all my uncles, they go way back into music, and growing up through the 70s, just listening to that and just thinking, what direction am I going to take? And and obviously right around then the funk started kicking in.
Yeah.
And funk came strong. The dance music. And I loved all that. I mean, I'm a rocker at heart, but my style, I started playing more into the funk, and which paid off because right out of high school I got called in for Rob Parisi's Wild Cherry. and I got to go play bass with him. And I'm still his bass player, but he's retired.
Yeah.
He wanted to lay back now he's got me doing all the work. So when people want to hear the song, I try to match it and try to sing it with with his rambunctious. But he was a monster, and that helped me, and it helped me as of a resume. And I got with U.S. Kids, I believe, or '89, somewhere around the line, and put a good 31 years with them, doing off and on shows still with Rob. When he would come in town, I'd bring him in town to do things, and yeah, but the rock style combined with the funk style, it just makes it fun.
Oh yeah,
The different styles.
One of my favorites is Chili Peppers. That combination.
Oh yeah.
Can't get enough of it.
Flea. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they knew how to work together. Him, I don't know the guitarist's name, but
I don't know.
For Shanti. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, how that could be a show on itself. Just name all the Chili Pepper guitar players.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Whoever had the more tattoos.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you said that because you're originally from Mingo, right?
Yeah.
So that's and not a lot of people know Rob Parise is famous for Play That Funky Music, White Boy, Mingo native. Yeah, it's funny because when I tell people when I was, away from home, well, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Steubenville. What's from there? First of all, Dean Martin. And second of all, the town over is Rob Parise. Everyone's like, who's Rob Parise? I'm like, Play That Funky Music, White Boy. And they were like, he's from where you're from. I'm like, you didn't do that about Dean Martin, but Play That Funky. And every time you get everybody going, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, we were talking about the mall and stuff. Like, when I was in high school, I worked at National Record Mart with Joe. Loved Joe to death. She was great. And Rob would come in there all the time. And, Nasera, she was the manager for National Record Mart. And, anybody who went to National Record Mart, you knew Joe. She just had a heart. It was huge. And
they took all their stores away.
They did.
But yeah, Rob was, they were a rock band.
Mm-hmm.
And they were struggling, about 74, 75. And they were all up at this Club 2000.
Okay.
It was up where the stadium parking lot is now.
Okay.
In Pittsburgh. And they just had a little discussion, and Rob said, we need to start playing funkier music. And that's how that all transpired. And the drummer, Ronnie Beidel, said, play the funky music, White Boy. And Rob had that song written by the time he got back to Mingo.
It's just, I love that. The people that can write music like that, I'm just
especially to switch up genre.
Yeah.
We need to add more of a genre of funk to it. How do you do that?
Yeah, and it's
he drove it home. I mean, he had it all in his head and finished it up and went to the studio in Cleveland, and that's where he laid down that first album. And that millions of dollars later, he's got a beautiful home in North Tampa.
No wonder he has you doing the legwork in Ohio where it's cold and freezing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Hey, I'll do it for the resume.
That's it.
I've been down there. I was his best man in his wedding a few years ago, and he's got 2 houses and one song. That's all it takes.
Was everybody else in the band down with that when he made the change and added? Were they all willing to play that?
The original Wild Cherry wanted to stay rock. So they kind of stepped off for a second, and they thought, what should we do? And then they ended up putting a band together called Messiah.
Okay.
Without Rob.
Okay.
And then Rob went and got that group of guys from the Pittsburgh area.
Gotcha.
To record
Okay.
the song.
All right.
And the guys that stayed back here, they did well, but they wanted to stay playing some rock.
So 31 years with you, that just seems. But then again, I still think 1989 was 10 years ago. So it's that's it. But no, like I said, when was the last time? Now I know Ricky passed, correct?
Yeah, we lost Ricky with brain tumor in 2006.
Yeah.
And then we were sort of not playing out as much as U.S. Kids, but when that was happening, I was living in Las Vegas. And I came back and we put benefits together for Ricky, and then from there we thought of coming back about 2011,
Mm-hmm.
and then we did an album, did the Life, Liberty, and Pursuit of Rock.
Yeah.
And we recorded that, and it did well, you know, and then we tried to get a few extra years in. We did well. We brought Carlo back, original guitarist.
Mm-hmm.
We got a drummer from Pittsburgh, Timmy Malone, great player, nice pocket. And but then COVID kind of slowed it all down.
Yeah.
Johnny's like, "Are we playing Friday?" Or and then I'm like, "No, we got canceled." I'm done. You know what? I'm done. I got grandkids now, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm just gonna lay back. You guys can do what you want. But you know, I still keep telling him, you know, if you want to come on anytime, you know, and join us again, you know. But he's like, I didn't throw any of my stage clothes yet, so we'll come back for.
We've been talking about, we've had some people on the podcast. We've been talking about trying to do almost like an all High Valley kind of Jambo-esque, kind of just one weekend bash.
All genre type.
All genre kind of thing. Man, if you guys could get it together for one last hurrah, telling to get those stage clothes out, and we can get a venue, man. I think that would be awesome. Especially, I know for me, up at the north end of the county and stuff like that. Like I said, you couldn't. What was it? CJ's, and I mean any place in the Ohio Valley, U.S. Kids always played. So it was one of those things. Great.
We were lucky.
Great musicians, and it was a great show every time. It wasn't. I mean, it was just.
Nehemiah with us for about 10 or 11 years. Carlo was doing some things with Mark Eddy, and he was doing a lot of traveling out west. And we brought Carlo back, you know, for the album in 2011. But my solo thing was it's still doing well. I just played it this past Saturday night. But I got called, and I got an email in this past February, and I had to look twice to see if it was right. When I was in Vegas, 2006, I hooked up with the lead singer of Brittany Fox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Paris.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did an audition for a band that he was putting together, a solo project, and we put a little thing together out there. And I came back when I was doing his benefits for Ricky, and I came back. I ended up staying back here because the Tommy Paris show kind of went into a quiet spot again. So I get an email this past February, and it said Tommy Paris, and I went, okay. So I responded to it. He goes, I need you. He goes, I need your vocals, and I can't find a bass player that can sing as high as you, and blah blah blah. So we put a whole set list together with all the Brittany Fox originals and his originals combined, and we went to the Whiskey A Go Go in September, and I did a show there.
No kidding.
Rite of Passage.
Oh man.
It was amazing, and we're still doing some shows. We got some shows coming up. We're gonna be doing maybe a Vamped in Vegas, and he's in New Hampshire now. He came to New Hampshire. But we're going to go to do some shows out there, and the Brittany Fox name is still huge. And
Yeah.
he's still massive. I mean, the guy's a rock star.
I love his voice, that high pitched raspiness.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
almost like Tom Kiefer from Cinderella.
Yeah.
Just puts it all out there.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
love
Yeah.
Put
It's
cylinders,
Yeah.
yeah. And what's funny is we're going to Los Angeles in April, and my daughter and her husband, he's stationed at Luke Air Force Base in Arizona, in
Are
Phoenix.
you allowed to say this?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to bleep you out.
Well, he's a proud employee.
Yeah. So, but anyway, they're gonna meet us. We're gonna fly out to Los Angeles. We're gonna meet up with them, and then my wife and I are gonna drive up the coast to her brother, and see them in San Francisco. But my daughter, knowing that I think I raised her right, because one of the first things she said, she goes, "Dad, we gotta go see Whiskey A Go Go."
Yeah.
Like just even if we get to the door, and I'm like, "Oh, absolutely." Like, but then to find out that you played it, oh man, that's
I have my own green room, me and Tommy, and we have Rob Math, the guitarist. He plays with Leatherwolf.
okay.
They're a monster band also. He's just a tapping shredder, and our drummer's JJ Garcia. They're out in LA.
Yeah.
And and I got to sign the famous brick wall.
Oh
Whiskey
man!
A Go Go, right
Wow.
by the Grateful Dead. And,
All right.
it was a blast.
I'm looking if they're open when we get there.
Mhm.
I'm looking for it. So we're
Like for our country music listeners that don't know the Whiskey A Go Go, it'd be like going to the Grand Old Opry.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh yeah,
California.
that's
something with so much history. I couldn't.
yeah.
imagine.
I mean, just and what's funny is we've talked about this before. Like I have friends um that are younger than I am, and then when they're just amazed, they were like, so like you remember when Guns N' Roses put out Appetite for Destruction? You remember? Like, yeah, I had it all on cassette. It was what we did, and it was
Yeah.
people were just floored by that. It's like, yeah, man. And they were like, man, I couldn't imagine. And
Did
it's
you remember we get a cassette tape that we didn't want to listen to anymore? We put tape over the holes and re-record something over. Did you ever do that? I mean, you'd find your mom's like Burt Bacharach, and you put it in, record. And because before we had YouTube and stuff, we had to wait on the radio for a song. We had to have the tape ready to go to record it
oh yeah,
off the radio station.
just play, record, and pause, and you just sat there. And you would hope the DJ would shut up so you would get the whole song. They didn't play through the whole
If you
intro.
wanted, like a deep cut from an album, you might be waiting there.
Oh yeah, it was forget deep cuts. You had to have it on vinyl or
Yeah,
and it was
B-side.
yeah, it was listen, I loved it. I wouldn't give anything for the world for growing up during those times. I mean, it just
We learned everything. We learned how to do, like you were saying, cross genres. We learned from the best players, the influences, and then we got to put it all together at our,
Yeah.
I don't want to say older age because we're still young enough to
yeah,
to rock. Why not? I mean,
that's it. And we talked about one night how it was where it was recordings was reel to reel,
Yeah.
and musicians had to know they were real musicians. It wasn't just we can dub it or we can sync it or we can
Stop here, repeat that.
yeah, do this, do that. You and I remember, like I said, we watched that documentary Sound City, and Tom Petty was talking about they must have played Runaway like 500 times because they were like, no, you missed this, and do it over again, and do it over again, and do it over. So you had that repetition just from getting the track down, let alone rehearsal and stuff. And those were like real musicians. Where like now it's just like, oh, we can sample this, we can do this, and if your voice isn't that good, well, we'll auto tune it. Well, it's
auto-tune. What a word, huh?
yeah,
They can use that and just make anybody sound like a star.
that's it.
Cool.
Yeah,
That was a Masked Singer.
Yeah.
When they have all these celebrities, and a couple people said, "Can you believe Hans Ward sounds that good?" He's like, "Yeah, that's him in that mask." Through
That's
the
it.
mask, through the
Yeah,
microphone,
no,
singing
that's-
perfect
yeah,
pitch.
it's-
Sing it through a helmet and a screen.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds perfect. So,
No doubt. No
but
doubt.
so you said now that you're doing a solo thing. Like, what do you got? Some dates coming up, or
This will come out Wednesday, so
yeah?
the
So
coming
Yeah.
dates will be out.
Yeah. Well, the next show I have is where is it? Well, I'm the lead singer of Bon Journey, also.
oh, I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have the drum bar at the Rivers Casino.
Okay.
Yeah, that fell into my lap too. It was a great year. I was doing a show in Burgettstown,
Yeah.
and it was solo. And here comes the Bon Journey bus and all these people, and they're putting equipment on the side of the stage. And I thought, that's Bon Journey. I didn't even know they were playing after me. Fantastic. The way they do those, the tribute, you want to call it, they do the Journey and the Bon Jovi to the T.
Really?
But I told them, hey, set your stuff up. I'll stay by my mic. It was an outside affair thing, anyway, they kind of liked the way I sang, and they said, can we have a card? Because our lead singer's from Du Bois, and it's a 3-hour drive for this guy.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to fill in some other singers, and I ended up getting the old starting quarterback.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Really good band. So between that and my solo thing while I'm back here.
Okay.
But they travel too. We're going to be going to the Dead Dog Saloon in Myrtle Beach
Oh, nice.
in May, I believe. And between that and flying out to do the Tommy shows, it's going to be another good year. I'm hoping, and keeping the fingers crossed and staying healthy, keeping the voice strong, and being 62 years old. Not easy. Not easy. You got to go in stores with gloves on. Don't touch me. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad you guys asked that. I'm gonna try to remember everything I'm doing as of the solo show. The solo project, though, I just did the Blue Steel this past Saturday, and it was a good night.
Yeah, we did
Is that the
2x4s. Yeah, we
bowl?
two
Yeah, I
by
love
fours.
that
We
place.
did that up there. That was a good time.
Oh yeah.
A
Yeah,
lot of people
I think
came
I
in
remember
late.
seeing that thing.
I remember
yeah,
it was like 1 a.m. and that's when we got like double the crowd coming in.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a late crowd.
Yeah.
yeah. And that's what we tell a lot of people. Like when they book us, they're like, "Can you do like 7 to 10?" And we're usually it's like we probably do 8 to 11, or even because especially for karaoke, one you got to get your crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they got to get their liquid courage in, and then by the time they're ready to go, we're done.
Yeah.
So, and there's been, I'm more often than not, we'll book for 3 hours and then we end up staying for another hour because by then everybody's like, oh, I'm ready to go now. I'm like, oh, but we played one place one night and my wife she sings with us and she also does like when people come and put their names in and stuff. Finally, they were like, we had played 4 hours. I think we took like 1 10-minute break and they were like, oh, no, keep playing. And finally she was like, they're done. They've been playing for 4 hours. They're finished. They're done. We're leaving.
Yeah.
So it was just, yeah, they just don't. So it's, yeah. And like we said, the Blue Steel was one of them. They were like, we were wrapping up and it was like, where are you going? We were like, we've been here for 3.5 hours. Where was you at?
Yeah. We do the acoustic
Yeah.
karaoke together.
Yeah, we play acoustic karaoke 2x4s is Jake, I, and my wife Amy. There's the three of us that go out, and then Jake's playing for Gage Joseph, and I'm playing bass for Matt Van Vossen. So we're kind of like doing everything together, and
Nice to be busy, man. It really
Oh
is.
yeah.
it is.
Especially now, now that we're coming out of the slow spot, as we
Right.
call it. I hate to
Yeah.
say the word COVID every time, but it slowed everybody down.
Oh yeah, come
That
to it.
avalanche of texts I got of cancellations when that happened, it seemed like once 2 bars did it in our area, everybody followed suit
Right.
just on one day.
Yeah, it sucked. I mean, it was just, and it
Did you? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, and it not only it changed like the music scene, it just changed society as a whole. Like now everybody's like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to go out. So even when stuff got open, people were still kind of hesitant to say, oh yeah, let's go out to the bars. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And it's finally, you can see like it's starting to pick back up to some normalcy
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Did you during COVID? Did you try to do anything remotely, like play any like those online shows people did, or were you just kind of like, if I'm not out playing, I'm not gonna?
No, I'm fortunate enough that I own a rental house, and
Okay.
it's across the street from me, and it's a cream puff, and
Yeah.
I have tenants in there, and that helped me out financially.
Mm-hmm.
I just had fingers crossed, so no, hey, the water heater broke.
Yeah.
Other than that, I just kind of sat in the back. We have a little tiny pool in the back. Me and my girl Jamie, and we just kind of hung by the pool. And I thought I can get used to this.
Yeah.
This what do they call it? Seal in from home, whatever the word was.
Yeah.
And I kind of laid back to it, but then we started getting some calls.
Mhm.
I would get a call for the wineries. The
Yeah.
wineries kicked in right around then for me.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
go up and do these. Like I think I did the Black Sheep out there in Caddis.
Oh, we
Yeah, we
right
play.
by-
Yeah,
love that.
we
Love
play the
that
Black
place.
Sheep pretty often.
He's
So
a mile from there.
Oh, okay.
yeah, my house is literally a mile from their driveway to our driveway.
Okay.
Yeah.
On this side, like toward Harris.
Yeah, right on 250. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Love that place.
Yeah, and then there was one up around. There's one called the Numbers Brewery up around.
I played there too. Yeah.
I forgot the town.
Oh,
It's
that's gonna drive me crazy too.
yeah.
They have a bunch of different numbers of their beer. You order like a 15 or a 16. They have
Oh,
a lot of
okay.
different.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's that one in East Liverpool. It was a bank. It was kind of a brewery too. And then there's one up around right above the Pittsburgh stadiums there. Threadbare, another brewery. For some
Okay.
reason, I was hitting those breweries, and they were doing really well.
Yeah.
Laid back, not real loud. People were eating dinners,
Mhm.
Yeah.
keeping your distance, and but I just went by the rules and kept it low and stayed away from everybody, and I was able to plow through a little bit of work
Yeah.
from that. But where are you originally from?
I grew up in Wintersville.
Wintersville.
Yeah, I grew up in Wintersville. Graduated from Wintersville before it merged to Indian Creek. So I'm still good old blue and gold Wintersville warrior at heart. So
We're both Creekers.
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, I went to Mingo.
yeah. It's
I graduated a few years before you, but
a couple, not many.
yeah.
So 31 years playing around the valley with the U.S. Kids. Do you have a certain venue that's your favorite or one that you call home?
Well, at first, we all really liked the Aquanaut. I mean,
I forgot about the Aquanaut.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Name drop.
yeah, I don't know how old you are. But I don't know.
33.
33? Did you ever get a chance to?
I,
I don't
no,
think so,
he'd have been.
no.
No.
Yeah, when I'm thinking my girls,
Name sounds familiar.
my girl's younger too, and she never had a chance to go there. But yeah, I'm with our drummer Ricky. I'm with his niece
Oh, okay.
Jamie. Yeah, and yeah, she's a babe. She always asks, can you ever take me back to those clubs that you used to play? I said, well, I'm not there anymore. But
The Aquanaut, we can go, but I'm probably gonna need, a sidearm and maybe a machete,
Yeah.
because I'm sure there's probably somebody sleeping behind that building. It's wretched looking anymore, but yeah.
Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Sage and Soul Decor Rental. Sage and Soul is a decor rental company that specializes in small or micro weddings and events. They offer packages that include everything you need to turn your event into your dream inspiration. Delivery, setup, and teardown is included in the package price. They have centerpieces, arches, vintage glasses, marquee signs, and so much more. Go to sageandsoul.eventrental.com or find them on Facebook at Sage and Soul Decor Rental for more information.
It was a lot of fun. But when I was with the kids this last hurrah of the kids, we were doing real well with the Mountaineer Casino,
Okay.
and that was kind of like a home base, so
Yeah.
to speak. And, as a matter of fact, we were kind of on a roll with all three casinos. We would do Meadows and we would do Wheeling Island, but then we'd come back and we'd do the Mountaineer, and it was just, you talk about, that's just elite, man, because they got the house PA,
Yeah.
they got the house lighting, and remember how you'd have to go and book all that stuff
Yeah.
if you don't, and then try to sort all that out, and we can have enough money to pay the crews, but anyway, that was considered kind of home.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys I'm asking because did you guys do your own sound, like when you played like Aquanaut stuff like that, or did you have a guy that followed you that did sound for you guys, or?
Well, if you're Aquanaut, so to speak,
I mean, like the High Valley stuff, like CJ's and
Yeah.
the Holiday Inn and stuff like that. Did you?
oh yeah, we brought all that.
Okay.
We brought the PA and the lighting, and we even had a stage at one time. And we finally told the crew, don't worry about the stage anymore. They sat back and were like holding their hammers and wrenches. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It was a 3-piece stage put together with Johnny had a grand piano. It was one of those pianos that would fold on hinges.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah, it was a monster. It was literally, it was shaped like a grand, but it was electric. But yeah, we brought the stage and the lighting. We used 3 or 4 different companies, whoever was available.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it was always nice to book the house
Yeah.
stuff that was already there. Today, it's a lot easier to find places that have house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of like sound, when you're on stage, do you still use an amp? Because I know a lot of people are going to modelers now. Or do you use the in-ears, or how's your setup go?
I did in Vegas a few times, but I still have a wall behind me with
Yeah.
JBL and Ampeg.
Yeah, glad to hear that. Everybody has the box now on stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the guys in Bon Journey still use the amps, but they use inner ear.
Yeah.
I still have a monitor. I
Mhm.
must have weird ears. I can't hold the inner ears in.
Oh, really?
If I go for a note and the jaw goes back, one will fall out. I don't have the right ears for it. But being in Vegas, we did a few shows, and they want you to use all inner ear and all preamps.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool about it is the drums would use even electric drums. So it was a sound man's dream,
Yeah.
because you have, all you hear is the sticks hitting the rubber pads.
Yeah, no stage volume.
Right.
Yeah.
Stage volume, there's no feedback.
Yeah.
Unless, I guess you could figure out how to get feedback out of a guitarist
Yeah.
through a pod, somehow.
Right.
you can make the strings whistle, but it was, but I just never really. I'm still toying with it.
Yeah.
Because all the guys in Bon Journey are like, when are you gonna get fitted for inner ears? And because they're all using them. So me and the guitarist, we're the last two. The rest of them have the inner ears. Because Dan brings 4 Marshalls. The guitarist Dan Newman, he's a great player. He'll use 2 on the smaller stages, but he likes to bring all 4 out. The bassist has a bass rig, and it's normal size. But when I play out, I play with the Grenadis also.
Okay.
Hermie and Dave and we played Stage AE last fall, and I brought out a whole rig because it's got to carry.
Right.
Because behind us was, well, in front of us, I should say, was all the way out to the stadium, and I needed to feel it a little bit. I like to get that little bit of an earthquake feeling.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. You want people to feel that.
Yeah, I always wanted to be able to walk in front of my rig and lose my equilibrium.
That means you're doing it right.
Yeah.
That's it.
I wear earplugs, and that might have helped me. But at least you can feel it flapping your clothes a little.
Yeah.
I like to have a little beef. How about you? Do you still use the rig?
Yeah. I have a 63 Fender tube amp. It's a reissue.
Nice.
I still let the tubes heat up. I still I can't match that sound with a modeler or anything I try, a pod.
You get that warmth out of the
You get that warmth. I'll even put a little carpet, little rug in front of it. I mean, I can't beat it. Then I keep my rig super simple. I'll have a tube screamer to bring out the sound, a core sustainer, and a delay, and my tuning pedal. That's it. No, I just keep it real simple. I see some guys with 50 pedals on there. It works, but I keep mine simple as possible, so I don't have to keep running back to that pedal board.
Yeah, and not to because we're co-hosts, but your sound is phenomenal. I mean, and like you said, it's so simplistic. I love load-ins when we do shit because it's super easy. But yeah, it's
Guitar connects to the board connects to the
that's it.
board.
That's it. That's why. But
simple, old school. You can never. It's hard to duplicate that old, crushy Marshall whistle strings. Keep your strings clean. With bass players, you gotta keep it. I love having that nice, clean bass sound, and I'll buy strings, play them. They'll start to dull down a little, and I boil them. I'm letting my secret out, but I boil my strings.
Really?
Yeah, and then you put them back on, and they're schling. They have that pop, and it just brings them back to life.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I love to have that sound. I use a pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, you use pick and finger or just
majority finger. I mean, majority finger. I mean, unless there's something that's a little quicker.
Yeah.
Or something that you really want to get that pop. Yeah, then I'll pick it. But other than that, it's all finger thumping. So like they say, bassist finger better. So we might have to delete that. My wife be like, cut that shit out.
Yeah, I always want to put hide the pick and start going to the thumb, because I learned a lot of bass style from a local, Joey Macari.
Okay.
Yeah, from Crack the Sky.
Yeah.
And I owe him a lot of my bass style, because I used to go, when I was in high school, I'd go sit and watch him play with Crack the Sky and B.E. Taylor, and I'd watch, and I'd think, oh, okay, what's he doing? Oh man, he got that thumb out again. And he'd buck up and I'd run to my car, and I'm driving home from one of the gigs, like, don't lose that. And I'd get home, sit in my bedroom until 3 a.m.
Just having it.
Yeah, and use that thumb style. And also, a bass player from Chic. I learned a lot of gallop style from him. That
yeah.
Bernard Edwards, he was a fantastic, him and Nile Rodgers, they had Chic.
Yeah.
And learned a lot of funk style from that. But, I mean, you find your influences, and you never forget them,
Oh, listen, I'm not gonna lie, and this is the honest God truth. One of the reasons that I started playing bass when I was younger was watching you play with U.S. kids.
Me?
Yeah, that's honest God truth. I was like, I dig that. That's what I did, and I got my first bass when I was a freshman in high school.
That's awesome.
So, Yeah, thank you. That was one of the main, that was not one, but I wanted to get down here and say it here. But yeah, it was you and U.S. Kids that got me. I'm like, I want to do the bass thing. I dig that. So
That's awesome.
that's what got me started.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I noticed I started with guitar, and I thought I started going up against guys like Rick Wachowski and Carlo, and and I thought, hey, I'm gonna switch to bass because we haven't been out of work because bass players are hard to find.
yeah,
There's a bunch of guitarists,
Mhm.
and you guys got a hell of a battlefield between
Yeah, yeah.
who's gonna get that gig, and you got to be ahead of the game, and yeah, and we end up making the same amount of money, not even working as hard.
that's it.
I always told myself if I could do it over and start with the instrument, it'd be the bass because it's like I said, like with guitar, it's always who's the best shredder, to be on the top of that pyramid. But with bass, anytime you look at on stage when they're playing, they're having fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just stress free.
That's it, and that's the biggest thing that's fun. I mean, you've seen it like even when we do 2x4s.
Mhm.
Like my setup's wireless, so when we get somebody singing, I'll walk over next to him, and we're just it's fun. You get into it, and it's
And you have that relationship with the drummer that the
Yeah.
other band members kind of don't have, like you're playing in the pocket together.
yeah,
the
it's
drummers, when someone's doing a lead, and if I'm not busy singing, the drummer's like, oh no, get out of here. I start reaching for their sticks, and we used to use the flash pots, and one of them fell over, and I might have knocked it over, and it was loaded.
oh jeez.
And our light guy didn't know it, and I didn't know it. And the next thing I know, I saw one go up, and the other one went this way. And I looked back, and Ricky brushing off the steel wool in the sulfur smell. Oh man, we can sit and tell stories about. Remember the down in Wheeling?
Yeah, actually, I saw that's the bar that I saw Peter Chris at.
Yeah.
yeah, when I tell that story, Yeah,
I know which one you're talking
the
about.
down under bar. We friend of mine, we went down there. Peter Chris was playing there, and
Drummer Ricky went to that. I
Yeah.
didn't make it.
so we're down there, and it's the bar is it's not big, and it's so my buddy Dave and I we figure we're gonna go around back, get an autograph from Peter.
Yeah.
So we get to the back and it's just him and I. That's it. And there's like a limo down there where like the fire escape. Guy come busting out, looked at us, slammed the door, opened it back up, and they got a coat over Peter's head. They run him down, and we're literally looking at each other like, the hell's going on? They get to the car, and that same guy that opened the door stands up out of the sunroof. He says, if you want an autograph, Peter will sign it now.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm like, no, fuck him. Eric Singer's better anyway. We walked. I'm like, there's two guys, man. There's two guys here. You're in, this
all
shit.
your buddies.
Yeah, I wasn't like, we were. It just, I don't know, rubbed me the wrong way. But
Yeah.
so yeah. So if Peter Chris is listening, I still don't want your autograph. So, but
Yeah. He was solid. I mean, he wasn't the best drummer, but he
yeah, absolutely.
stayed in his lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely not the best drummer. So, but
Who's your drummer? Who do you have?
I when we do the acoustic karaoke, I do drum pedals. And what I did, I wanted to buy these things called snare boxes. They're made for guitar players, they're like $200, $300. What I did was I bought a cheap electronic drum kit, and I changed the sound settings on the kick and the hi-hat control. So now I have kick and it's almost clap. And
Oh,
then
cool.
I'll do the beat with the track that people sing to, and he'll play bass.
You're doing a pentatonic.
Yeah. And that's why we kind of named ourselves the 2x4s, because he was singing, playing bass, I was playing guitar and drums, so we were two people doing a 4-piece band.
Oh,
That's
that's
kinda-
cool.
so yeah, it's
You're doing double work.
But listen, it took. I remember when he come to me with the idea, and I'm like, first time we played, I'm like, how are we gonna do this? Like, how is this really gonna work? Like, so like people come in, they give us a song, we pull it up, and we got a 40-inch television has the words, and then give us a second, we pull up sheet music, and we just let it go, and the monitor has the karaoke track, so the person singing, and then going out is a little bit of the karaoke track, but us playing, so it's like they're leading the band.
Music charts, you said, comes up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have the chart, but sometimes because I'm pretty musically inclined about the theory. Sometimes we've had with a track start playing, I'll look at their chart and I'll be like, "Hey, we're 2 steps down." So I'll look at him and be like this. We have to do that quick adjustment.
And luckily and like you with karaoke, it's usually the same 100 songs. I don't care where you're at. So you repetitively play the same. Every once in a while, we get thrown a curveball, and it's like I go to pull up the music, and I'm like, this is just going to be a straight, just pluck and see.
Yeah.
I hear a key change, and it's just going to be one. It's not going to be the runs or anything, but it's fun, man. We have a blast with it.
So you combine karaoke with kind of like
With an open mic almost.
mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
That's cool.
open mic with the back line. Yeah, for us or for the person, they come up to the stage, you have the words, you have the track coming back at you, but through the fronts, it's us and the singer. So
That's neat.
yeah, so they're a rock star for the day. They get to lead their own band.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
pretty neat.
it's unique. We once same thing when people like when they first come, they're like, I don't know what acoustic karaoke, and then once they see what it is, they're like, okay, that's pretty cool. So that's why but like you said, a lot of wineries we've been getting, and that's like kind of like been our bread and butter. Every once in a while we get thrown into like the corner of a bar, but you know, it's
Yeah.
we played one place one time and people were up dancing, and he literally was, as he's playing, he has to lean back because he's on a stool, he's playing, and this girl's ass like is
Way too
right
good.
here.
My wife was 6 feet to my right.
He's just sitting there trying to play.
Trying to be- We got up to the last 4. You know, I mean, I was happy with it. I mean, just Detroit Lions are just they're just so powerful right now. I
Right.
hope they go all the way now, because I was rooting for Buccaneers obviously out last night. Finally, I got to a point where it's not going to work. Let's just root for the Lions.
If you had to put money on a team to go all the way this year, who do you think would get it?
Wow, Chiefs are so hot.
Yeah.
They really are hot, and Lamar Jackson is a monster, and but Detroit's surprising everybody.
Mhm.
That's
They
it.
couldn't do anything wrong yesterday.
Right.
Unfortunately, it was against my boys. I was a Rams fan all my childhood, and I was living down in Clearwater, Florida for a while, working for a pool company, and I was operating a little Bobcat, and I had a little bit of heavy equipment operating experience, and so that helped me. And anyway, I was going down. We were working an extra day over in Tampa. It was a Sunday, and we're coming back. And I got on Dale Mabry, the road where the stadium is, Tampa Stadium. It was the old Sombrero then, and and I got in the wrong lane, and I was pulling the Bobcat, and I had 2 guys in a cab with me, and I said, "What do I do? What do I do? I can't get over." So they're waving me into the stadium, and they're going like this. There's flaggers and there's parkers, and they waved us all the way into the end zone. And these guys got me in the headlock. How'd you do that? I don't know. So we got out and we walked into the end of the game. We were playing the Bears. Tampa was playing the Bears, and I ended up standing on the sidelines with right by the Bucks and the cheerleaders. And I started looking around. I thought, I'm starting to like this.
Yeah.
So I ended up being a Buccaneer fan. I went through some bad years with the orange and
Creamsicles.
creamsicles.
Yeah.
Yep.
But other than that, as of now, yeah, I'll probably hope that the Lions take it the rest of the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
What are you guys looking at for the next few weeks?
It's hard to bet against Chiefs, but I think if somebody would do, it'd be Ravens to go all the way.
Ravens can't do anything wrong either right
No.
now.
Yeah, I think Baltimore's just gonna. I think they're gonna hand Kansas City their ass. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
hope to. You're not the biggest Mahomes fan either.
No. No. I really do. I don't think anybody in the AFC is. I thought maybe the Texans would show up against Baltimore,
Yeah.
and only because I thought Cleveland had a better defense than Baltimore, but they were just on a different level when they played the Texans, and
I thought C.J. Stroud was going to be a little stronger.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. I'd like to see them go through it too.
Oh, he'll get there. Without a doubt, I think he'll get there. But
Give him another year or so.
as far as NFC, I mean, I think I'm with everybody on the underdog, like the Lions, and plus I'm a Dan Campbell fan. I think he's done
Yeah.
great things, and I like him as a player coach. So I think I'm pulling for Detroit to win it all.
So I got one question for you before we let you go. It's
Come on, don't let me go.
it's our most debated topic is food. So say you're up north, Steubenville, Wintersville, Mingo area. You just get done a show and you're starving. If they're open, where's the one place you want to go?
If they're open.
I'll ask you this too, being from that area.
Oh man, it's usually got to be pizza, but I don't think they stay open that late anymore.
Yeah.
We have so many good pizza shops in the area.
Yeah.
Really do. And but you know, it's always usually Taco Bell. They're the only ones that
That makes me have to run just saying the words.
It's either that or you go to Sheets.
Sheets
and order a sandwich. But I'm a cook, man. I usually have stuff prepared. You know, if I'll have something. In the fridge or
Right.
However, well, what's your dish at the 3 a.m. chime?
Man, if they were open, Zontini's in Ferry, the pizza.
Oh yeah.
Cold
Yeah,
cheese pizza.
their cheese pizza. It's
If
like
I was
our,
up Steubenville area, I might get one of the DeCarlos. I don't know which one's better though.
that's a debate in itself. You
Yeah.
can either have West End or downtown, and
Different.
but I was a Janamores kid growing up, so
Janamores was unbelievable. I couldn't wait. When I was in Vegas, I was craving pizza so bad. I was having a good week. I got on a plane, flew home to Pittsburgh, rented a car, drove to Janamores just to get pizza. I got 8 slices of pizza, and I inhaled them in the Kroger parking lot. Then I went to see my mom. She didn't even know I was home, and I go walking in. Oh, Bobby, you're back. Oh, my goodness, you hungry? And I was like, oh, no, how you supposed to turn mom down?
right.
Yeah.
So I was like eating real slow at her house. But that was a $375 box of pizza. With the rental car and the plane.
Man.
It was worth it.
Absolutely, man. It's just there's no. I'm sad that it's gone because I don't know. Now it's kind of like even the West End DeCarlos is different. When they got somebody else took it over, it's not like it used to be. So I like Zontini's, but it's just doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I thought when you said if they'd be open, I thought for sure you were going to say Hillsboro.
Hillsboro Tavern.
Yeah, I thought maybe that's where you would drop.
Yeah. They barely cook past 10 o'clock.
I know anymore. Yeah.
Anymore, nobody really does.
No.
But they were fantastic.
Now, is it the Townhouse that has the banana pepper wing?
Townhouse has the
That's really
banana pepper wings that we like. So yeah, that's
Very good wings.
yeah.
We have the best food in the world right here in the Valley, best musicians in the world. I mean, I've been in LA, I've been in Las Vegas, I was down in Tampa and trying to put, I love industrial dance, new kind of sounding rock, Nine Inch Nails, Stabbing Westward, Linkin Park.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I write. And, I'm in the studio now and finishing up one of my songs, and it has that kind of a niche to it.
Nice.
But I was traveling all over the place to find what we have right here at home already.
Yeah.
Musicians are just, I don't know what it is about what's in the water, but everybody plays for real back here.
I
Yeah.
said it before too. Sound engineers. I've always preferred the people around here than going out, and
Yeah.
I've had some horror
There's
stories.
some great sound people around this area.
It really
That's
is.
yeah.
There's some great road sound guys, and and they're still not that far out of reach as a price too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some guys that'll ask $4,000 a night, and they'll bring you the stage that opens up with the hydraulics, and they flap open this way.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been lucky. We still have some live show contenders.
Yeah. There's like definitely, and the other thing is too is the way wheeling is starting to grow. I think it's gonna like we've said within 5 years it's gonna be another big music venue place like it used to be. Like when we went to now it's West Banco, but the Civic Center. I mean, how many bands did you see there growing up in the 70s and the 80s? I mean, it was constantly you go down to Wheeling and see somebody, and it's
they're still putting some shows in there, and I'm so grateful for that.
yeah, they're starting to build them back up.
Yeah.
They had Ice Nine, and they had in
Alice
this moment.
Cooper was
Alice
in
Cooper.
this moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dropkick Murphys are coming
Yeah,
in
yeah.
March. So
That's like an Irish rock band.
yeah,
Yeah, Irish punk rock.
Yeah.
yeah,
I had tickets for the In This Moment Ice Nine and all that, and I had to sell them because Bon Journey got a gig in Columbus, so
Oh.
I had to go there.
Yeah, I heard the production was out of this world for
Really?
for the West Banco. Yeah,
Yeah.
they said they brought in everything.
Yeah, I saw a couple videos and it looked great.
Mm-hmm.
So
They took our arena away, Steubenville. So,
yeah,
and I was just starting to get into a little bit of concert promoting. I wanted to take a shot at it.
yeah,
But yeah, then they took it away. But now, if West Banco can get some shows in there that are
Yeah.
worthy, that'd be so nice. You don't have to go to Pittsburgh. And
yeah.
I mean, I love going to Pittsburgh. I'm not against Pittsburgh, but you know,
It's just nice to play home.
it is.
I mean, it is, and it's
Yeah.
but and like I said, with the waterfront and all the other places that are like what is it?
Bridge Tavern's doing a
Bridge Tavern. I mean, there's so many places that are actually. I mean, downtown Wheeling right now looks like a war zone. But I mean, all the restaurants and places are actually they're revamping everything and they're getting ready and stages and live music and so it's going to be coming and it's exciting to watch. So
Yeah, and they're trying to do that with Steubenville. I'm on the committee with the Dean Martin Festival, and I was on the committee that brought the Rat Pack here last summer.
nice.
And we brought them in. Two of them are from the Frank Sinatra and Marilyn Monroe. They're married, and they're from Texas.
Okay.
And the Dean Martin is a good friend of mine. Joe Scalise, he's from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And the Sammy Davis came from Nevada, and he does all the casinos there. They all do the casinos. And I got on board with that, and I did the iPad tracks for him.
Yeah.
And Steubenville's needs to get a grasp on that too. It'd be nice for entertainment. They're trying. They had the styrofoam things up there you walk through, the
Nutcracker. Yeah.
and that brought people, and people like that, for the holidays. But then it's all dead silence again.
Well, it irritates me, especially growing up there, when you see everybody around Jefferson County thriving, and Jefferson County's just sitting stagnant. And like, well, we have First Fridays. Okay, well that's great, but what are you doing to bring? I mean, you got literally across the river, they're putting up Permane Brothers. They're building all this stuff. There's down here in St. Clairsville. They got everybody around them that's doing it, and Jefferson County's just sitting there. Now you got the same clientele. You're getting the tax money. What are you doing?
Right.
I mean, why is there there should be no reason that they shouldn't have something. I mean, yeah, you have the amphitheater at the fort. Okay, that's what, 8 or 10 bands through the summer.
Yeah.
Okay,
They could put something together and get at least a national act down.
they could
Yeah.
easily.
And then they keep taking things away. I bought the house that I'm in because we had the Fort Steuben Bridge. I can get access to go see my brother and my family. Or now they took my Market Street
Yeah,
because I used to go that way to go in Domingo to see my mother. And stop taking things away. Put a few dollars into it and fix whatever's wrong with the bridge.
yeah, it's sad, especially from growing up there and just seeing that it's just. And then you have like 4th Street, where if I might be wrong, you might know more than I do, Bobby. Is the fact that there was a guy that was putting all his effort into making 4th Street, and then like the city was coming after him for like this fee and that fee, and just kind of busting his stones.
3 stores in
Yeah,
Lake
just
Garden and all that.
busting his stones on like because he's trying to undo it. And they're like, well, you gotta pay the piper, and it's like,
It's almost
come on, man.
Yeah, it's almost like they're saying, to make sure you turn the lights out after you're done.
Yeah,
Come on, let's give it a shot. Bring in something that will make people say, okay,
right.
it's great. We don't have to go very far to see or hear or do anything. They're okay. Great job with the Sears building in the mall. They're going to try to get something in there. I mean, there's so many places that can have concerts. Live venues. But
Hopefully they see Wheeling open up and be like, look at the difference it makes. And
I would hope, but I'm afraid it's just going to fall on deaf ears. I really am, and it's sad to see that once the mills went away, it was kind of like, oh, okay, well, we'll just sit. There's nothing to do. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's really sad. So, but
Yeah, we love our towns, and we want to do everything for them we can.
yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, hell, you could even, like I said, you could do a show, a stadium show at Harding Stadium. You could fill that place easily if you had somebody come in.
You could fit, I don't know, 16, 17,000.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
That's a great idea. Let's write that down.
that's it, man.
So to end this podcast on a lighter note,
So I went down the Jefferson County rabbit hole. Sorry about that.
we'll go back to saying that the best musicians, sound crew are from the Valley,
And food.
And
and
food.
podcasters.
And
Oh yeah, we're hopefully podcasters. We're taking off. So Bobby, thank you
You guys are the best.
so much for coming in. Yeah.